Why is it so hard to let go of control? Why do we hold on so tightly, believing we can carry the weight of the world on our shoulders? The truth is, we live in a world that celebrates independence and self-reliance, but there's a limit to how much we can truly handle on our own. Let me ask you this. Have you ever reached a point where the more you tried to fix things, the worse they got? That's not failure. That's the human experience. And it's in these moments we're reminded of a powerful truth. We were never meant to do it all alone. When we learn to let go, to trust, to say, God, I can't do this without you, something incredible happens. The weight begins to lift. The impossible starts to look possible. Today, I want to share why the most courageous thing you can do isn't trying harder or fighting louder. It's letting God handle it. Let's explore how surrender and control is not weakness, but the ultimate strength. Control is something we all strive for. It gives us a sense of security, a feeling that we can shape the outcomes of our lives and protect ourselves from uncertainty. But the truth is, no matter how much effort we put in or how carefully we plan, there will always be circumstances beyond our control. Recognizing this is not about admitting defeat, it's about gaining clarity. Think about the things you've tried to control in the past. Relationships, outcomes at work, how others perceive you. Despite your best efforts, how often did things not go as planned? And when they didn't, how much frustration, stress, or even self-blame did you feel? These emotions don't arise because you failed. They arise because you tried to hold on to something that wasn't yours to hold. When we refuse to acknowledge the limits of our control, we risk carrying burdens that aren't ours to carry. We waste energy trying to fix situations or change people who may not be ready or willing to change. We find ourselves stuck in cycles of overthinking, anxiety, and exhaustion, hoping that if we just try harder, we can force a solution. The reality is there's freedom in understanding that control is often an illusion. You can control your actions, your mindset, and your responses, but you can't dictate how life will unfold. This understanding allows you to shift your focus. Instead of obsessing over outcomes, you can focus on the choices you make within your sphere of influence. Instead of being weighed down by what's out of reach, you can channel your energy into what's truly within your grasp. Recognizing the limits of your control is the first step to releasing unnecessary stress and opening yourself to possibilities that you may not have considered before. Surrender is often misunderstood. Many people associate it with weakness, giving up, or failure. But in reality, surrendering is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It's not about abandoning your efforts or aspirations. It's about releasing the tight grip you have on situations you cannot dictate and allowing space for a greater force to intervene. When you try to control everything, you create tension within yourself. You carry the weight of expectations, timelines, and specific outcomes. And when life doesn't go as planned, it can leave you feeling defeated. Surrendering, however, invites a different approach. It's the act of saying, I've done my part, and now I trust that things will unfold as they should. It's not passive. It requires strength to admit that some battles aren't yours to fight, and that some answers won't come from your own effort alone. This act of surrender allows you to redirect your energy toward what truly matters: your growth, your peace, and your ability to navigate life's challenges without breaking under their weight. By surrendering, you create space for acceptance, which brings clarity. You start to see what's really within your control and what isn't. This perspective helps you stop fighting battles that drain you and start focusing on areas where you can make a meaningful impact. Surrender also invites the unexpected, opportunities, solutions, and outcomes you might never have imagined when you were trying to force your way through. It takes courage to surrender because it involves trust. Trust in yourself, in the process, and in something greater than you. But once you make that shift, you discover that surrender is not a sign of defeat. It's a powerful step toward freedom and peace. Uh, Timing is everything, yet it's one of the hardest things to relinquish control over. We all have our own plans, our own expectations about when things should happen. We set goals with specific deadlines, hoping that life will fall neatly into place according to our schedules. But more often than not, life doesn't follow our timeline. And that can leave us feeling frustrated, anxious, or even disheartened. Trusting in God's timing requires a shift in perspective. It's about recognizing that while we may have limited vision, God sees the bigger picture. We often think delays are setbacks, but in many cases, they're part of a greater preparation process. What feels like a pause might actually be a period of growth, refining, or alignment, setting the stage for something far better than we had planned. When you insist on your timing, you may find yourself forcing things that aren't ready to happen. You might rush into opportunities that aren't right, make decisions without clarity, or miss important moments of learning and preparation. On the other hand, when you trust in divine timing, you begin to approach life with patience and faith, knowing that what's meant for you won't pass you by. This trust doesn't mean you stop working toward your goals or become complacent. Instead, it means doing your part and allowing space for the process to unfold naturally. It's about finding peace in the waiting, understanding that delays don't equate to denial. Often, the things we think are being withheld from us are actually being prepared for us. When you embrace God's timing, you start to see the beauty in the journey. You become less focused on the clock and more attuned to the lessons, connections, and experiences that shape you along the way. The need for immediate answers is a natural human tendency. When faced with uncertainty, we seek clarity as quickly as possible to feel in control, to reduce anxiety, and to find direction. But life rarely provides instant solutions, and the constant pursuit of immediate answers can often leave us feeling even more overwhelmed and frustrated. Letting go of this need requires understanding that clarity often comes with time, not force. The search for immediate answers can blind us to the bigger picture. In our rush to resolve uncertainty, we might settle for incomplete solutions or miss the deeper lessons that come from waiting and reflecting. Sometimes the answers we seek are not ready to be revealed because the circumstances or we ourselves are not yet prepared to receive them. Releasing the need for immediate answers allows us to embrace patience and trust. Instead of demanding that life provide all the details up front, we can focus on taking the next best step with the information we have. This shift doesn't mean giving up on finding solutions. It means giving ourselves permission to move forward without all the pieces in place. It's in the space between questions and answers where growth often happens. This is where we develop resilience, faith, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The waiting period is not wasted time. It's transformative. It teaches us to rely on something greater than our own understanding, to lean into faith, and to find peace even when things remain unresolved. By letting go of the urgency to know everything now, we open ourselves to the wisdom that unfolds over time. We learn to trust the process, to be present in the moment. and to recognize that the answers we need will come when the time is right. Life is full of challenges, uncertainties, and circumstances that we cannot control. When faced with these, we often find ourselves consumed by the need to change or fix things that are simply beyond our reach. This creates a cycle of frustration and exhaustion as we pour energy into areas that yield little to no results. Focusing on what you can change and releasing what you can't is a powerful way to regain clarity and peace. It starts with understanding the difference between the two. You can control your thoughts, actions, and decisions, but you cannot control how others think, feel, or respond. You can influence situations, but you cannot force outcomes. This shift in perspective allows you to direct your efforts where they matter most, toward your own growth, mindset, and well-being. Instead of trying to micromanage the uncontrollable, you can channel that energy into making meaningful changes within your sphere of influence. This might mean improving your skills, nurturing relationships, or adopting healthier habits. These areas are not only within your control, but also yield positive, lasting impact when tended to with care and intention. Releasing what you cannot change doesn't mean ignoring challenges or being indifferent to the world around you. It means acknowledging your limitations and trusting that not everything is meant to be solved by you. It's about recognizing that some things are best left to unfold naturally in their own time, or are better handled by forces beyond your control. When you focus on what you can change, you shift from a place of helplessness to empowerment. You reclaim your energy and attention, allowing yourself to live with greater intention and peace. Letting go of what you can't change is not giving up. It's choosing to prioritize what truly matters. Anxiety often stems from the fear of the unknown, the uncontrollable, and the unpredictable. It's a natural response to the pressures and challenges of life, but when left unchecked, it can consume your thoughts and rob you of peace. Replacing anxiety with prayer and reflection is a powerful way to counteract this cycle and bring a sense of calm and purpose to your life. Prayer allows you to release your worries and surrender them to a higher power. It's not just about asking for solutions, it's about sharing your burdens, finding comfort in faith, and trusting that you are not facing your challenges alone. Prayer shifts your focus from what's wrong to the belief that there is a plan greater than your understanding at work. It's a moment to pause, breathe, and remind yourself that even in uncertainty, you are cared for and guided. Reflection complements this process by helping you gain perspective. It allows you to step back from the immediate pressures and look at the bigger picture. Through reflection, you can identify what's within your control and what isn't. It gives you the clarity to prioritize, to let go of unnecessary worries, and to make decisions rooted in intention rather than fear. Both prayer and reflection provide the space to center yourself and realign with what truly matters. They help you focus on gratitude, hope, and the positive aspects of your journey, even amidst challenges. This shift doesn't make problems disappear, but it equips you with the inner strength to face them with a clearer mind and a calmer heart. Over time, replacing anxiety with these practices becomes a habit that nurtures resilience, peace, and a deeper sense of trust in the process of life. Believing in the power of divine intervention means understanding that not everything in life is within your control or reliant solely on your efforts. It's the recognition that there is a higher force at work, guiding, protecting, and orchestrating outcomes in ways that may be beyond human comprehension. This belief is not about abandoning responsibility, but about partnering with faith to navigate life's challenges. When you acknowledge the possibility of divine intervention, you open yourself to outcomes that exceed your expectations. It's a reminder that there are solutions, opportunities, and paths you may not yet see or imagine. What may seem impossible from your perspective is often entirely possible through a higher power. This belief encourages hope, even in moments when circumstances appear hopeless. Divine intervention is not always dramatic or immediately recognizable. It often comes in subtle ways, through a chance encounter, a delayed plan that leads to a better opportunity, or a sudden insight that provides clarity. These moments are reminders that you are not navigating life alone and that there is purpose even in the waiting, setbacks, or detours. Embracing this idea doesn't mean passively waiting for miracles. It means doing your part, working hard, making thoughtful decisions, and being open to possibilities, while trusting that a greater force is also working in your favor. It allows you to release the pressure of feeling like every belief in divine intervention inspires resilience and patience. It helps you remain steady in uncertainty, knowing that even when things go as planned, there is meaning and direction behind it all. It invites you to trust the journey, lean to faith, and remain open to the extraordinary ways life can unfold. Staying open to unexpected solutions and outcomes requires releasing rigid expectations about how life should unfold. We often create detailed plans, envisioning specific paths to success or resolution, and when things don't go according to those plans, it's easy to feel frustrated or defeated. However, some of the greatest breakthroughs and blessings come from situations we never. Unexpected solutions often arise when we step back and allow room for creativity, intuition, and divine guidance to play a role. When you're too focused on controlling every detail, you might overlook opportunities that don't fit your preconceived ideas. Staying open means being willing to adapt, pivot, and explore new possibilities, even when they weren't part of your original plan. This mindset also encourages humility. It reminds you that you don't have all the answers and that sometimes the best outcomes come from sources or directions you couldn't have imagined. Whether it's a door closing that forces you to find a better one, a delay that leads to greater preparation, or an encounter that changes your perspective, life has a way of presenting solutions in ways that defy logic or expectation. Being open doesn't mean abandoning your goals or lowering your standards. It means holding them with flexibility, trusting that the process might take you on a different but equally meaningful path. Unexpected outcomes can often lead to personal growth, deeper understanding, and greater fulfillment than you initially envisioned. When you embrace this openness, you cultivate resilience and gratitude. You learn to trust that even detours and surprises can serve a purpose. By staying open to unexpected solutions, you position yourself to recognize and seize opportunities that align with a bigger plan, one that often turns out better than anything you could have designed on your own. Patience and faith go hand in hand during times of uncertainty. When things are unclear or not progressing as quickly as we'd like, it's easy to become impatient and feel as if things aren't moving forward. We may question why things are taking longer than expected or why progress feels slow. However, patience is not just about waiting. It's about trusting that in time, the right things will unfold. Faith is the foundation that sustains us during this waiting period. It's the belief that even when we can't see immediate results, the process is still working in our favor. It allows us to remain calm and centered, knowing that there is purpose behind every delay and that the timing is in alignment with a greater plan. Cultivating patience requires us to step back and trust that things are happening as they should, even when we don't have all the answers. It's about letting go of the need for immediate gratification and trusting that in time, we will see the bigger picture. This kind of faith helps us find peace in the process rather than in the outcome itself. As you practice patience and faith, you begin to see that waiting doesn't mean inactivity. It's during these times that you may learn valuable lessons, grow in ways you didn't expect, and become better prepared for what lies ahead. By embracing the process and trusting the timing, you allow yourself the freedom to stop fighting against what is and focus on what you can control. Your mindset, your actions, and your willingness to keep moving forward with faith. Patience and faith remind us that some of life's most valuable lessons and gifts come in the moments when we're not rushing toward an end goal, but simply allowing ourselves to grow in the process. When you begin to understand that God is in control, you can embrace a sense of peace that comes from knowing your life is guided by a higher purpose. Letting go of the need to control everything gives you the freedom to trust that no matter what happens, things will unfold in their right time and way. Believing that God is in control allows you to step back from the chaos and uncertainty of life. It doesn't mean that challenges won't arise, but it does mean that you don't have to face them alone or carry the burden of figuring everything out on your own. God's plan is often greater than anything you could have imagined for yourself, and recognizing that truth gives you the courage to take the next step without fear or hesitation. There it goes. In the moments of confusion or difficulty, remember that God's control doesn't always look the way we expect. Sometimes things may appear to fall apart before they come together in a way that aligns with your greatest good. Trusting in this process is not easy, but it's in these times that you are often being prepared for something far greater than what you initially desired. When you trust that God is in control, you release the need for perfection and the pressure of trying to make everything work. You focus on doing your best and leaving the rest in God's hands. This shifted mindset allows you to approach life with peace, knowing that no matter the outcome, you are being led to where you are meant to be. In the end, letting God handle it isn't about passively waiting for life to unfold. It's about actively surrendering the parts of your journey that are beyond your control and trusting that a higher plan is at work. It's about recognizing the limits of your own control and having the courage to step back and release what you can't change. When you trust in God's timing, embrace patience, and stay open to unexpected solutions, you align yourself with a force that is far greater than any challenge you face. By replacing anxiety with faith, you shift from a place of fear to a place of peace, knowing that even when things don't go as planned, they're still going exactly as they should. Trusting that God is in control allows you to release the pressure of needing to figure everything out on your own and gives you the freedom to move forward with purpose and confidence. Life is full of twists and turns, and while we can't control every outcome, we can choose how we respond. So when things get overwhelming, remember this: you don't have to carry the weight of the world alone. Surrender it to God, trust the process, and let go of what's not meant for you. In doing so, you'll discover peace, clarity, and a strength that comes from knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should.